Good afternoon. Phil Lindemann with your Krystal 93 News from Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery. Authorities have rearrested the woman suspected of moving 25 kilograms of cocaine on I-70 last week. Sheriff Jamie Fitzsimons on the Krystal Morning Show today.
This person is in custody. They were taken into custody within 24 hours, and they have been nicely handed over to our federal partners.
This was the first big bust by the sheriff's new canine dog.
Typical interdiction stop where it was in a concealed compartment. The dope itself was wrapped, 6 ways to Sunday and encased in wax.
That cocaine was laced with fentanyl, with a street value of more than $800,000. A driver is okay after her Jeep was struck by a tumbling rock on the dam road yesterday. Photos show the rock smashed straight through her windshield on the passenger side. No one was sitting there. Dam Road closed for hours yesterday to avoid more close calls. Dam Road closed again this morning, clogging up traffic during rush hour when Swan Mountain Road shut down for a crash. The pandemic grace period for Medicaid coverage is soon expiring by order of the feds. Mark Williams with the State Department of Healthcare Policy.
During the midst of a pandemic, that is not when you want people losing their health care coverage.
That coverage grew exponentially during the pandemic. Here in Summit, 5,500 people are now on Medicaid and 9,800 in Eagle County. That's nearly 1 in 6 locals. Not everyone will lose coverage, but some will.
Say over the course of the past year or few months, they may have gotten jobs where now their income exceeds the eligibility minimums.
Every month over the next year, the state is mailing notices. You might miss it, though, if your address is wrong or the post office backs up. Williams says check now using the website keepcocovered.com. Welcome to Under the Radar with Silverthorne Town Manager Ryan Highland, previewing a $5 million rec center remodel.
It is kind of the last remodel component in a strategic plan that we've had for years.
Work at the rec begins April 17th with a 3-week shutdown. They expand the front desk and move the main staircase to remodel the communal locker rooms.
It will be disruptive, it'll be messy, but our staff there has a great plan of how we're going to work through that.
You can expect lots of construction all summer. By late August, the rec will shut down again for men's and women's locker room remodels.
Trying to use every bit of square footage that we have available before we start looking at rec center expansion, which we are talking about doing in the coming years.
Silverthorne asks you to please excuse the noise and dust, and if you can, come to the rec already dressed for a workout. Locker room space will be tight. Tune in again next week for Under the Radar with Local Towns. In sports, the Avalanche play the Senators tonight at 5. The Nuggets play the Pistons, also at 5. And in local sports, today on the Warmup, brought to you by iFurnish in Frisco and Kremling.
We know how to work together really well, which is super exciting, and we're all super athletic, which is important.
That was senior co-captain Kelly Duffy with the Summit High soccer team. She plays midfield, where she's a natural fit there as captain.
Control the ball under pressure and finding that open player and playing those simple passes that really make us work together well.
Also starting at midfield is co-captain Katie Clapp.
I think I have gotten good at telling when I should push players, when I should motivate players, and when they need that comforting, it's okay.
This team is hungry for a trip to the postseason after watching the boys team make a run this past fall under coach Joe Twan Daniels.
He's an amazing coach to work with. His energy on the field, off the field, he's always a coach who's there to wants you to get better.
Girls open the season today at home against a tough Palisade team. This has been the Warm-Up with your Summit Tigers. In other preps, Tigers baseball is playing down in Evergreen today, and the Breckenridge Vipers will be back on home ice tomorrow for Game 1 against the McCall Mountaineers. Phil Lindemann with your Krystal 93 News from Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery.